32 years together. Then I found out my wife was cheating with a younger man. I never thought that after 32 years of marriage, I'd be standing in an emergency room because of another man, my wife's lover. But that night in the bar, when his fist connected with my head, my entire world shattered. And what I discovered in the weeks that followed nearly destroyed me. You know, sometimes life doesn't collapse in one big dramatic explosion. Sometimes it falls apart slowly, piece by piece, until one day you wake up and realize the person you loved, the person you trusted with your entire life, has been living a double life right in front of you. 7 months ago, I was the designated driver for what should have been just a fun night out. My wife, her brother, his wife, and a few friends. We all went for drinks after a concert. I don't drink, so I was behind the wheel, like always. Everything seemed normal. Everyone laughing, talking. But then the women went to the restroom. 2 of them came back. My wife didn't. Her best friend smiled and said she was having some stomach trouble. I didn't think much of it, until I needed to use the restroom myself. I walked through the crowd, weaving between tables, and that's when I saw her. She wasn't alone. She was standing close, too close, to some man. His hand was on her hip. Her hand rested on his shoulder. Their bodies tilted toward each other in a way that screamed intimacy. My stomach dropped. She saw me instantly. The second our eyes locked, she stepped back, almost panicked. She rushed to grab my arm, pulling me away, whispering, "Come on, let's go back." But I wasn't moving. "Who is this?" I demanded. The man looked me dead in the eyes and smirked. "None of your business." That's when it happened. His fist crashed into the side of my head. The world spun. My knees buckled, but I stayed on my feet, until he tackled me into a wall. I heard the crack of my skull against the surface before everything turned fuzzy. I couldn't see. I couldn't think. But I could hear. Shouts, chaos, fists flying. When I finally came back to myself, I was in an ambulance. Later, I found out the man, her affair partner, was bragging while I was half-conscious, telling everyone he'd been sleeping with my wife for months. And as if that wasn't enough, my brother-in-law, my wife's own brother, was the one who told me he believed it. He'd heard the man's words. He'd seen enough. And he couldn't keep it from me. That's when the bottom truly fell out. Over the next few days, I did what any betrayed husband would do. I went searching for the truth, and oh, I found it. Her phone was a gold mine. Photos, texts, videos, their I love yous, their plans, their fantasies, their secrets. And it didn't stop there. Her best friend, the one who lied to my face that night in the bar, she was helping cover it up, encouraging it, even admitting in her own texts that she had cheated too. The betrayal wasn't just my wife. It was her inner circle. But here's the part that really crushed me. For months after, I had to play the role of the loving husband. Smile, sleep next to her, pretend I didn't know. Pretend I hadn't seen the videos she made for him. Pretend I didn't see the texts where, just days after he assaulted me, he bragged about knocking me down, and she replied with a smiley face emoji. That smiley face haunts me more than the punch, because that tiny yellow symbol told me everything I needed to know. She wasn't sorry. She wasn't scared. She was proud of what she'd done. I held on. For 6 months, I played the game. I smiled at her, ate dinner with her, even slept with her. Not because I loved her anymore, but because I needed time. Time to plan. Time to prepare. And now, 7 months later, the time has come. I have divorce papers in hand. I have copies of every text, every picture, every video. I even know who he is, where he lives, who his wife is. I know everything. And yet, here's my dilemma. Do I confront her? Look her in the eyes, show her the evidence, and watch her world crumble as mine once did? Or do I ghost her? Leave everything behind, leave the papers and evidence on the table, and walk out without another word. That's what I wrestle with every night. Part of me wants the satisfaction of seeing her face when she realizes I know everything, of watching the mask fall, of seeing her caught in her own lies. But the other part of me knows confrontation is dangerous. She could twist the story, call the police, accuse me of abuse. She's lied before, what's to stop her now? Ghosting feels cleaner, safer, but it also feels incomplete. Some people might think, well, at least the affair is over. And maybe they're right. She ended it, finally, months after that night in the bar. But ending an affair doesn't erase the betrayal. It doesn't undo the lies. She chose him over me. She chose lies over truth. And after 32 years of marriage, that choice destroyed us. I don't know how this will end. Maybe I'll confront her. Maybe I'll ghost her. But either way, I know one thing for certain. I'm done living a lie. And if there's one piece of advice I can give anyone watching this who suspects betrayal, it's this. Trust your gut. Don't ignore the red flags. Because the truth will always come out. And sometimes, it'll hit you harder than a punch in the face. Pause. Literally.